Yes, mate. So you are the new vocalist. You are the vocalist of Scandal Tree. Now, when did you join?
I think it was October last year or the year before. Yeah,
Okay.
almost 2 years. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. We spent a year writing, and then we ran about October. Then we started recording. Yeah,
Okay.
time goes fast, as you know.
Yes, it does. Have
I had to
they?
scratch my head there. I was going, is it 1 year or 2? It has to be 2 years. Yeah.
COVID still threw everyone. I still think it was
Oh,
only 4 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So, did they haze you much?
About
Well, just in general, just about being the new guy.
Oh, no, we don't really have much of a hazing sort of deal going on. Occasionally a little tease, but yeah, no, none of that. No,
That
it's
is an
good.
impressive beard, mate. Now, how many years of
Cheers,
work
man.
is that?
I don't know. I probably started growing it probably about 2018, getting length on it. I'd had it that way before, and then I chopped it back because it was getting itchy or something. I can't remember. It was pretty pathetic, really. I didn't deserve the beard,
Yeah,
at the
look, mate,
time, but I've grown to deserve the beard. Yeah.
as an
Worked on my
ex-agent,
manhood, worked on the strengths of my character so that I could have the beard. Um, with beards, the beard club says that because I used to be a jogger, you can't jog in daylight hours with a beard, so you can do it after dark. So
I love that they put so much thought into it. Um, uh,
uh,
so I left the army after 11 years, and the first thing you were supposed to do is grow a shit beard
oh yeah,
because you have to shave every day. So the first thing you do is grow a shit beard. I can't get more than 5, 6 days into it before the itching
before
just
it's
drives me.
easy.
Yeah, can't
Yeah,
do
look,
it.
yeah, it's around about the day 30 that it stops itching. Just when you got enough so the little hairs don't turn around and give you a tickle. Mm.
I don't think I have it in me.
Yeah. Then
Mate,
you get the sweats. You get the sweats.
yes.
But I've had it so long now, I don't notice. It's all. I think I wouldn't know the feel of my face anymore. I think it would make me uncomfortable. Mm.
That I'll just put that as the quote. I don't know. I can't feel my face anymore. And people will think, oh my God, he's talking about drugs.
Yeah.
Now, mate, let's talk about Tooth Fairy.
Yep.
So, how long were you working on this track?
Look, we did 2 sessions where we went in. Pretty much we booked out the weekend with Core Studios in 2 sessions. Tooth Fairy, and the first time we did 6 tracks, and the second time we did 4 tracks. So Tooth Fairy was in the first 6. When I guess the original laying down of the tracks didn't take that long, but we were quite fussy about how it was put together. Had a lot of input in the mixing. On some of the tracks, we went back and added some stuff later on, and we fixed some stuff up as well. So I can't say exactly what Tooth Fairy was in there. It was probably one of the easiest because it sort of I guess it had its own feel about it, had its own story. So we just sort of lent into it. Yeah.
Look, as a track, I can say it is yum 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 yo, and you're welcome to
Delicious.
incorporate. Welcome to take that as a review.
Yeah.
So
It's a good little earworm, that. Yeah, it's a good little earworm, that. I was playing it to a mate of mine. I was in Canberra on the weekend, and mate of mine down there, and he hadn't heard it, but we played it to him one time, and went out for dinner afterwards, and he was going yum yum yum. Damn it, he was stuck. This is good. The rest of the album's pretty much like that. You just get the song stuck in your head, and then all of a sudden you get a little, yeah.
So these sessions that you recorded Tooth Fairy in, now are these other tracks? Is this are you guys aiming for an EP or an LP?
No, this is an album. Yep.
Okay.
We were hoping to get it out. Before the end of the year, before Christmas. We got delayed in getting it out. That's a bit of a story in itself, but But so we're looking at getting it out somewhere around about Feb next year, just after the Christmas lull. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how much to ask of this, and I'm happy to edit out this question. You guys were talking recently about getting signing a contract, but then that decided against it. Is that something you can talk about? Is that something you want to talk about? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, sure, yeah. So we were putting the single out, and it's sort of what held us up getting the album doesn't get out. So we're putting the single out, and we got approached and asked if we wanted to sign up to this label, and we you know, what we pretty much did was go investigate whether it was going to work out and that we were all comfortable with it. And so we went and did a lot of backward and forwarding, and that took a few weeks. We talked to lawyers and that sort of stuff to, you know, get our bearings. And in the end, I guess we decided against it. It was a pretty good deal, but we just thought, you know, we'd go it alone. Maybe look into something further down the track, but, you know, initially just keep to plan. And it put us back almost 2 months in the release rollout, because the single was supposed to be out, I think, July. And so now we're in September. So
I like, are you a fan of Metalocalypse at all?
Of?
Metalocalypse. It's an animated show.
No.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the flames?
No, yes. Well, that did tip me off, but more to the point was the whole gag is they're a death metal. It's an animated show that was in the mid-2000s.
All right, yeah.
A death metal band who is inexplicably bigger than Taylor Swift. They are the biggest band on the planet, and it is never explained why. But I love to joke of it when they were looking to sign a contract. These guys can barely even feed themselves. They're so dumb. They are billionaires, and they're incapable of doing anything. But as second as a record contract comes in front of their eyes, it's all of them glasses on, and they're like, "Oh, I actually don't like the look of this clause." It's like contracts.
Well, you know, you've got to look at it really carefully, because there's your creativity involved, there's your effort involved, there's you know, there's money involved, and there's ownership involved, and you have to make sure that the trade-off of what you're getting from the deal is worth what you're giving to the deal, I guess. So, you know, you got to have that trade-off, and we were sort of in the camp, well, you know, that trade-off sort of, you know, not big enough to get us in yet. You know, we need to.
I just want to explore this a bit, because I think your experience of talking with a lawyer and something is something that I think a lot of bands maybe don't talk about enough. Like I just wanted to ask a question. So you consulted with a lawyer. So you guys have got the contract in your hand. You know, you get sent it. What did it cost the band personally? How much did it hit your hip pocket getting a lawyer to take a look at that and that process?
We went to Arts Law. So you sign a subscription, and you make it, you take out a subscription, and then they give you, you know, they don't represent you. They just give you feedback on what what they see in that contract, and then they don't do it for you. They tell you what your pitfalls might be. What they did do for us was write some of the clauses, which we were a bit sort of. So we had a backward and forward where we looked at a particular clause, and we thought, oh, that's got a little bit of a loophole. We need to tighten that. Okay, we sent it to them. They put it in a different wording, so it makes sense, so that it can't be contested later on. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Okay, so this is a company called Arts Law.
I think, yeah, you'd have to ask Dan, because he's the guy who got like. I dealt with them, as in, but I didn't set up the meeting, the subscription. It was something he got for us, and we worked as a team. It was a good building experience, a good learning experience, and the only negative was that it was a little bit of a negative, because we'd really like to be sharing our album in a couple of months, but we have to wait till the new year. That was the only downside. But it did just take it was just time consuming, a bit of back and forward and that sort of stuff. But I think now we know what we're after, we won't have that again. We'll know what we're after, and work out how beneficial it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of musos give their stuff away just for exposure, I guess, and I think that that sort of can be not favourable to them, and it's not a good strategy in the long run, because they can sort of lose their control over that work for some period of time, and that's and there's all sorts of other things you can fall into, as we know.
Yeah. Sorry, this has been driving me nuts the entire interview. The stick figure on your left bicep. I know, what is that? I've seen it before. This bad boy.
That's that one. That's the German industrial band Isuzen Juventan. So they call that particular design the newbie, but I believe it's an old Mayan figure. That's where they got it from. So it's been around, in popular use since about 1982, 83, and then but before that it was it meant something else. Now I'm not too sure what it meant other than that. And
yes,
I do like their early stuff. Their early stuff's pretty cool. It's worth following up and have a listen to it.
I remember seeing, and thank you for pronouncing it, by the way, because I have literally...
I don't know if that's pronunciation.
You don't know? I've been calling
That's just what I've been calling it since I first found them when I was 18 years old,
I've been calling it in Steinzahn Nailbar. What? Who cares?
Yeah.
Someone will correct me. Yeah.
Yeah, but, ask, if you don't know, try the German.
The video for
or type it into Google and ask AI to do it for you.
Yeah.
One day I will. But I've got into the habit of saying, like, I just called them that when I was 18 because I couldn't, it was trying to get it out of my mouth. That's what, it's still there. So, I know I get it wrong. I know it's nothing like
when I must have been 16 when I saw the video for Bloom and was really struck. I was like, what is this? Because they were using like homemade instruments and
is that the one where they're in the junkyard? And they actually used to do it from
I'm not feeling a junkyard. I know they used to do, they used to play under bridges.
They had gigs in Judd,
No, this was a video of theirs, and just looked like everyone was dressed like from the 1920s or something. It was odd. I just remember it being odd and original, and that is the two words I think I would use to describe them.
Their early 80s stuff. So what I know of them is that they used to have their gigs in like junkyards, and they'd get people along and they'd teach them the rhythm. You go ding, 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 and then they'd play. And Blixa Bargeld, who's famous for being with the early Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds lineup, he'd sit there with his tinny guitar and his tinny amp and make his weird noises. It was very cool.
Was this when Nick Cave was living in Berlin? This would have been around the...
That's how they met. That's how they met, yeah. So after the birthday party washed up, they met there. And I think after Blixa, I really haven't enjoyed Nick Cave. Like, it's meh. I like his early stuff, anything from 94 back.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that I would be... If you told me I had a Nick Cave interview tomorrow, I would be terrified. And it's because he's like Tex Perkins. I don't know. You just put people up and you're just like, oh, that's Nick Cave. Or that's Tex Perkins. Yeah. It's just artistic people that you just like. They're really creative, and you wouldn't want to piss them off.
I think historically he was pretty. When he was younger, I remember interviews with him, and he just was not really. He'd sometimes get on. Get angry with the interviewer. And one time I remember someone asked him about his book, and he said, "Have you even read it?" or something like that. So he will go on. But a good interview I heard. I hadn't listened to anything of him for many years, but I listened to him with Louis Theroux, And that was a fabulous interview. Yeah, and he talks about the birthday party days, and it was just a wonderful interview. I saw him live about 2 years after a big gap of not seeing him, and he's still fantastic. You know, even though I don't like his newer material, it doesn't really do anything for me. Just he's brilliant.
Yeah, I'll happily go. Haven't listened to anything since Murder Ballads. Don't care. We'll check it.
I think Murder Ballads was probably my cutoff. I think. I think maybe Let Love In, part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, dude, well done on Tooth Fairy. It is a cracking track. Are you guys doing any? Have you guys got any gigs coming up to promote this?
We do, and damn it, I haven't got the.
That is okay. I will.
Got it in my head. It's on the 19th of this month, and then we're trying to get some stuff going, and hopefully we'll get a good schedule for next year and run up and down the coast or something like that. Maybe do a world tour if we're lucky.
Nice. Oh, mate, I have the album.
I don't know if it'll be the case, but certainly.
Are you going to use the logo I made you, or are you going to use that god awful one of the tree stump?
I think we're going with the snake one at the moment. There's the whole idea of the scandal and the original scandal of the Adam and Eve and the snake. So that's, if you see the snake, if you look in the middle, there's an apple there. That's the original scandal. So we did do a bit of thought in our. Took it from the start.
I was so happy with that original logo I made you, even though, let's face it, I was pretty much just ripping off the Jerry Bruckheimer logo from the 90s, like Armageddon, the lightning hitting the tree. All right, mate. Be good to yourself.
Cheers. Thanks, Tom.